Greetings and salutations, Dota fans. It is I, Banjo, back for some more League of Legends action. It is the season number 14 opener. On the Radiant side, yeah, we smoke meth. So, on the Dire side, happy birthday, Hatsune Miku. Two very different team names. Two. One of them degenerate, the other one, well, weeb, which is also degenerate, but I digress. Should be a very, very fun series again. We got some fun gamers here. You got enough, of course, on the Radiant side who is captaining his team and was, one of the standout players last season. On the Dire side, of course, it is again grand finalist festival and one of my perennially favorite players in lads in Jinx. On the Radiant side as well is famed esports figure Storm Soldats. Put the term famed in air quotes, but I recognize the name, which is certainly something, if nothing else. Looking at bands so far, again, Chaos Knight, Spiritbreaker, Dazzle, Tree Protector, Bloodseeker, Kunkka, Primal Beast, Brewmaster, Bristleback, Lone Druid, all banned out. 8-pick Furion, aka Nature's Prophet, 9-pick Weaver. We then parlay that one into a 13 Grimstroke into a 14-15 Phoenix Spectre response. If nothing else, it's a fairly interesting opener to the draft. We are not going to see some of the more popular heroes because they've been banned out. I'm pretty happy to see no Primal Beast, no Kunkka, no Bristleback, Little sad my boy Trainer Protector's been banned out, but that's Dota 2 for you. Again, another team fighter grabbed in that Tidehunter. I will say, I like the Tide. It's a hero you can show in the lane pretty effectively this game, which is going to be important. You look at what the Dire is building right now, and it's a pretty obvious sort of macro plan where you want to play around the Spectre ulti, the Shadow Step, every X seconds, depending on what level it is. You want to be ready to capitalize with a kill because you have the Spectre Furion combination, which again, Spectre Furion +1 is an incredibly powerful kill combination. You can very easily move the Spec and the Furion around for for reasons of global strategy. So to have a hero like Tide who is incredibly resistant to these ganks is very uh I don't actually know the rules, to be honest, for this one. I probably should, considering I have in the league, but I don't actually know what the rules are. I'm All right, so we're gonna draft. We're gonna finish this draft, and then we're gonna remake an all pick because one of the players was not here on time, and now the player is here, and Radiant are agreeing to remake with the player in question, but with this draft. So apparently we're going to play it out. I don't know. I probably should know the rules on this, considering it's kind of my Dota league, but I'm honestly just here to make whatever work. The players want to draft with then remake, then we're gonna draft a remake. I don't see any problem with it. I could open the old rule book, but I know I made sure to put in the rule book that we can do things on admin discretion, and luckily for me, I am admin discretion. I'm terrible. I'm so terrible. We have Invoker picks, which again doubles down on this very strong team fight situation. You've got Ravage Cataclysm potentially, or again before the Invoker Ags, you can easily throw in Meteor, Sunstrike, Deafening Blast. You can potentially set up for the Ravage with Tornado even. On top of that, you have some sort of pick off potential just by having, say, the Tide Shard plus Invoker, everything else. Throw in Cold Snap, throw in all the right click damage. There is a lot you can do with playing Dota 2 in that sense. I will say though that this seems like to be a pretty good Grimstroke game. There's no like, I say pretty good and not excellent for a reason. There's no like super great like Doom type of ability you would throw in there, but there's a lot of little spells you'd be very happy to have doubled this game. I don't know the exact interaction between Tide Shard and Grim Ulti, but I'm sure it just gives you 2 anchors. If it gives you 2 anchors, that's incredibly good this game.
10 seconds remaining.
I guess actually the way the Dire have drafted it kind of limits the ability a little bit, because Furion often itemizes into some right-click attack speed to get rid of the anchor off, and then Mag will often buy some attack speed as well. Particularly an item like Echo Saber into Harpoon, so I guess it won't be perfect, but the Tide Shard is just so powerful right now. Tide Shard is powerful. Got a little caught up on Tide Shard mentally. Don't know why. That's Dota 2 for you sometimes. If you don't play a drinking game, take a shot whenever I say any of the 3 following phrases. What can you do? It is what it is, or that's Dota 2 for you. If you drink a shot every time I say one of those 3 phrases, you will be dead by the morning. I guarantee it. You think I'm joking, but I'm not. I try not to, but sometimes you just I almost said one of those phrases. So sometimes you fall into those patterns as a commentator.
5 seconds.
Especially when you're by yourself, which is how you're going to be for game number 1, unfortunately, but that's how it happens sometimes. Looking at bands, Radiant banned out the Air Spirit, Dire banned out the Lifestealer. The Lifestealer ban is a little interesting. It indicates they know something about the Radiant's roles that I do not know, because looking at this draft, I initially think Weaver carry, Invoker mid, Tide offlane. Which indicates that one of those heroes is not those roles. Probably the Weaver. Perhaps like Weaver 3 Invoker Sup, or actually, no, that's dumb. Probably like Weaver 3 Tide Sup then. I haven't actually done any scouting. See, it seems like Jinx has done some scouting, which is good. I am going to do some scouting for my own series, but this is not my series. This is simply they're 100% sure that Radiant want to carry still, because they just banned 2 carries. So they know something that I don't know, which is probably a good thing. Probably a good thing. But I digress. I do a lot of digressing. Kind of how it goes sometimes. You know, you get into the commentator's booth, you start digressing. Radiants are very low in reserve time, as are Dire for that matter. Dire are chewing into their last reserves. And they've made the penultimate pick being the Legion Commander, which means we are looking at Mag mid, Legion off, I believe. Both of those heroes could flex potentially. You could go Legion mid, Mag off, but generally you see the Legion played off. And that is not a carry, it's a Pangolier. So G remake in Epic. I'm going to ask in the all chat if we're doing that or not. I'm going to see what they say. Okay, so we're playing it out. We're not remaking. Apparently, 5-player on Happy Birthday Hatsune Miku does not play Phoenix, so they do not want to remake with the same draft. They only want to remake with a different draft. Which is an interesting resolution to our dilemma. Yeah, we smoke meth, so I've said, you know what, we're not redrafting, we're only remaking. So yeah, we were playing with Beach Jeans for game number 1 of our lads season 14 opener. Seems like we're going to have a support invoker for Storm Soldats if the sheet was correct, the sheet indicated that Storm Soldat will be playing 5 for this Yeah We Smoke Meth team. If that is correct information, I have not been misled by the captains in question, then that will be a Sup Invoker, which is certainly a little bit interesting. You generally do not see Sup Invoker, but it's not unheard of. Certain patches we have definitely seen it more than others. We haven't seen as much of it this patch, but you see a lot of like 1-2 flex Invoker rather than like core Sup flex. But Sup Invoker, it is what it is. I mean, it provides Cold Snap. Obviously, it's a hero who enjoys buying Midas, but you see more and more nowadays in the current patch supports buying Midas. So you could probably justify like, hey, I don't know, maybe earn into Midas into Vessel, for example, as a build. What Storm Soldat will go for is to be determined, of course. I am not an Oracle. If I was an Oracle, I probably wouldn't be here right now, would I? There's multiple layers of deprecation on that one. A little bit of self-deprecation, a little bit of non-self-deprecation, but I digress, of course. I do a lot of digressing. If you're not a fan of digressing, you're in the wrong spot. But if you are a fan of Dota 2, some of the finest amateur North American Dota 2 action, you are in the right spot. And for those who, for whatever reason, if for whatever reason you have never heard of Lads, and you've decided to show up today in this stream, this is League of Lads. It is a mid 6K average sort of Dota league. We've got some 8K players. We've got some like either semi-pro players or formerly pro players in the league. This is our 14th season, been going on for years now. Our alumni include, Double Kings played in the league, Skywards played in the league, players like, Strawberry Shark and Rusi are active players in the league. There's some really exciting players that have either played previously or play currently in the league. We have a nice little community of Dota 2. I don't even know why I'm saying all this. I can say with a degree of confidence that like 100% of the viewers who stream right now probably know this league. But if you don't, then there's your primer. I figured I might as well for the opener to the season for perhaps new League of Lads viewers. My name's Badger, by the way. I'm here. You can't get rid of me. I'm like some kind of infestation. You cannot get me away from where I am right now. We are still paused though for restroom reasons. Looking at items, it appears to definitely be the Sup Invoker though. This item build definitely does not seem to be mid. Again, we have single circlet, blood grenade, Ob Sentry into Urn. That's definitely a Sup build, which is definitely interesting. And I have a friend who plays a lot of Sup Invoker, and I know it can work. I believe it has been played in Lads in previous seasons. Obviously not this season, because this is literally the first game of the new season, but there is precedent, of course. I think the player you want to watch here, though, is going to be Jinx. I mentioned it earlier in the draft. I am a big Jinx fan. I'm not even sure why. I just really enjoy watching Jinx play. He's a cool guy. He plays interesting heroes usually. Probably Tusk comes to mind as like the quintessential Jinx hero, but he plays a lot of very interesting sub heroes. Furion, no difference. As a hero who could definitely have some sick moves on a macro level. Micro level, not really, because all of the abilities are pretty pretty boring, but I'm not gonna respond to this. I am not responding to this message. They've been paused for like 3 minutes probably. I don't know the exact time. We could probably time it out with like a. If we went back in the VOD and checked how long we've been paused. My admin senses say it's about 3 minutes, maybe 3.5 minutes of pause. But as a general rule, unless I'm paid to have a stopwatch in my hand, I'm not timing these things. And I assure you I am not being paid to have this. Let's see how he responds to this. How goes the crusade against the bathroom? let's see. Let's see how he responds to this one. Uh, I will say though, hopefully, hopefully it is a winning battle, and we can resume our Dota 2 soon. It appears as though that we may be here for at least a half minute longer. I should probably open the stopwatch. Let's open a stopwatch. So I have not opened this page in so long. When's the last time I opened this page? My multiple stopwatches chronometers page. Nouns versus Shopify. When was Nouns Shopify? Is that the last BTS Pro Series Americas? It had to have been. That was like 6 months ago. I have not timed things in like 6 months. Oh, we've done it after, we'll say, 5 minutes of pausing. We are back in the Dota 2 game. If you are just joining us, take a seat, because you are in the right place at the right time. It is game number 1 of the League of Legends season number 14. On the Radiant side, yeah, we smoke meth. So, on the Dire side, happy birthday, Hatsune Miku. So, we're going to be in for a fantastic time, hopefully. I'm all chatting already from the caster lines, of course, so, you know. That's how it goes sometimes. My name is Badger. I will be at the helm tonight for your broadcast for the Lads season opener. We've made it through the pause, the hardest part of the night. I think I did an okay job. No dead air. I don't think I went too far off the deep end. Though the latter part is, of course, up to debates. Yeah, we see some very early aggressive warding. Jinx went teleport level 1. Put a ward down here. Put a ward down here. I'm pretty confident. I didn't check at the time, but I'm pretty confident this ward spotted out the movement here through the jungle. So there should be some idea what's going on. You see 4-man grouping right now. Crony, the tankiest hero in the lead, in the little tree area right now. Storm Soldat goes in on the Invoker. This is dangerous. This is really dangerous. Do Dire know? Dire are aware. Skewer was not skilled. Crony goes forward, so does enough. Blood Grenade on the way. Inkswell is there in the tie. Crony is incredibly dead. And that'll be first one going to Storm Soldat on the Invoker support. Good start to the game for Yeah, We Smoke Meth. And again, that's going to get the Invoker a decent way towards that Urn of Shadows, which naturally is good. We're seeing them run a Jinx right now. Jinx, I don't believe dies here, but we shall see. Cold Snap, Shikuchi, Blood Grenade, Inkswell's available, but as a result, it will cancel that TP. So it is an R kill there. This time going to the Grimstroke. Certainly not the 2 heroes you want the first 2 kills to go to, but 2 good kills nonetheless. 1 for Grim, 1 for the Invo. Yeah, we are less than 100 gold from the Urn. It's minute 1, and we are nearly at Urn. This is good. Looking at mid, it's Pangolier versus Magnus. Therefore, I'm not looking at mid for the next 5 minutes. Over to bottom, it's Grimstroke Weaver versus Legion Furion. Possibly the most interesting lane of the day. Weaver, of course, from ahead is a very powerful brawler. But from behind is not a very high stat hero, so it's the first, 3 or 4 waves are going to matter a lot in this bottom lane, I'm sure, if I had to guess. In the top lane, we are going to look to find some more levels on Tide. Tide's probably going to go for the Sampler, like a 1-1-1 skill build here, if I had to guess. He's holding a point to perhaps go... He wanted to hold Anchor Smash for CSing in this sort of scenario right now. Which will delay Kraken Shell, but it is what it is. These are things you need to delay sometimes. Unfortunately, the range creep last hit was missed by enough, though, so... at this point, he needs to shake off that Season 13 rust. Get back into it again, but... yeah. Bottom lane, we are seeing fighting over the pole camp. And the hard camp is unblocked. So at this point, perhaps Jahan will look to reblock it at some points. Looking at his career, it's not his career, so there's no sentry on the ward quite yet. Perhaps he'll go like, I guess he wants, or maybe he'll go like boot sentry or something with his money right now. Over to the mid lane though. Whoa there, Lefty almost dies. Shockwave hits, but the bottle healed the Pangolier up. Did not expect that to happen. And nearly missed the kill top. Looking at the action, no way. So rotation from Jinx, the TP in. That's a big kill again on Pangolier. Not a hero known for dying early on, but just a big lane win there for Festival, and a good TPM by Jinx to finish the job. I suppose if you're Pangolier, you're not all that upset, because you were probably headed to the fountain anyways. And if you're headed to the fountain, then, I suppose that player getting a free trip to the fountain via death. Over in the bot lane, Jahan's on the run from Crony and Jinx. It's level 1 overwhelming odds, so not enough to one-shot the Grimstroke unless he walks into a creep camp, perhaps. And a Grim with those brown boots will walk away, so not ideal for Grimstroke, but better than to die, I suppose, in that scenario. In top lane, there is an urn for Invoker, so you know what time it is. It's time to do one of two things. It's time to go in and brawl. You either want to kill, or perhaps you want to die. Either way, it is brawl in time for Invoker. Of course, Phoenix is the ideal target if you can. For example, cold snap him during a Nicker's dive, but that's easier said than done sometimes. Of course, Hyper's in the Vanguard, tanking damage, but the Spec's never an easy kill. That said, though, if you are throwing all these spells on the Spec, then the Spec will not be farming ideally. Bottom lane, they brought down Jinx. I don't know how I missed that one, but I guess I was going on a tangent. Bot lane again, Chikuchi forward. Crony's on the run. Chikuchi's up in 8 more seconds, so not quite soon enough to dive that town. Regardless, again, another win there for Weaver and Grimstroke. And then mid lane, looking at the XP so far, Magnus nearly a full level ahead. Respawning in top lane is Jinx. He'll go in for Invoker. Icarus Diet is there, and the Invoker will go down. Now, give him an Urn Charge. And enough wants some kind of vengeance. However, he will not find it. But with the Double Gauntlet plus Ring of Health, he will be absolutely fine. And back to bottom lane goes Jinx. Chikuchi forward by NPL. They want Crony. And they'll certainly get him. They'll have the Jinx. And when he dies, he will not have a TP. He's got both of his TPs on cooldown. So again, bit of a disastrous bottom lane. Weaver, Grimstroke are ahead. And a Weaver that is in motion stays in motion. So this is the exact start of the game you want if you are NPL. Looking at lanes overall, we are seeing a couple lane wins just going on. Weaver winning his lane pretty heavily. Mid lane's being won by Festival, but the top lane has been the most contentious. You know, it seems like Tide's doing pretty well in this lane, but neither are too far ahead CS-wise. Bot lane again, Legion TP'd back in. Died immediately. Weaver Grimstroke simply far too strong right now, and now if you're Crony, your game is much, much worse. Mid lane, Festival's got the RP if he wants to go for a crazy play here. He's going to fight the top rune. Tornado will hit the mag, but he got the double damage rune. That's a swashbuckle forward, cold snap on top. DD rune has been popped into 2-man RP. He's hitting the Invoker. Invoker certainly dead. He'll head to the Pangolier. Pangolier will attempt to TP away, and it will succeed. But it's still a win there. That's one kill on the Invo. Goes to Jinx rather than the mag, but it's still a win there. Good TPM by Jinx, and good turnaround with that RP, I should say. Hi, my apologies if the voice still sounds a little bit off. Still recovering from the sickness. I will say though, with confidence, I definitely sound better right now than I did during Lads Plus. Ooh, Lads Plus finals, I did not sound good, but I sounded a little bit better at least. Bot lane, MPL thought about going in with the Swarm, but said, you know what? Creeps are good, creeps are easy. Didn't feel the need to dive. Wisdom runes go one team apiece. Nothing too crazy there. One to Jinx, one to Storm Soldat. Enough is just going in top lane, by the way. He's grabbing waves. He is a Tide Hunter. He is very strong right now, so might as well utilize his power. Maximize that creep farm by dragging the wave into more neutral camps. Invoker's got an Urn Charge, but he will head bottom, perhaps looking to capitalize with the strength of the Weaver Grimstroke combo right now. If they really want to, they could perhaps work towards that tower. Top lane enough is on the run. He's very slowly going to die. Jinx TP's in. He's got the Sprout. Didn't get him on the inside, but this play appears to be fine. Tide will perhaps attempt to deny to the creeps. He will fail to do so. The kill goes to Jinx on the Furion. Now 4 kills for Happy Birthday Hatsune and Miku. They are down by 2 kills, down by 1,000 gold. A lot of that 1,000 lead is on the back of the Weaver right now. He is 4,500 net worth at minute 8. A decent number. And Invoker's still roaming around. Looking at Dire Vision, they have some idea of where the Invoker is thanks to that Observer Ward. Invoker scouts out the Ancients looking for stacks, perhaps, for the mag. There were none of them made, though. Not that I saw, at least. Yeah, no stacks at all here. Over to bot lane once again. I see a little error message on the TPing mag, but he has arrived. RP is available, but he's just short on mana. He swapped the treads to get the mana. By this point, the Invoker's already dead. They'll head to Grimstroke. Grimstroke certainly is going to end up dying. Weaver will attempt to clean things up, headed for Phoenix. Chikuchi hitting on 3. Grimstroke's dead. In comes Lefty on the Pangolier. He's got roll ready to go. He'll use it. There are 5 Dire Heroes in the Radiant Jungle right now. Weaver goes in for the Magnus. Magnus, it's 130 HP on the right. He's got Skewer. He'll skewer away towards the tier 1 tower. Weaver's still going to dive. He's Chikuchiing forward. Tumblers towards the right by Festival. Lefty heads for Crony. Crony's low on HP. They'll head to the Jinx instead. Jinx is a half HP. He'll self-sprout and TP. The TP will not work. It's canceled by the Tornado of Storm Soldat. So that is a 2-for-1 in favor of Happy Birthday Hatsune and Miku. They bring that kill lead down to only 1. They're still down by 1,000 net worth. Radiant, meanwhile, are smoking Neth, and they're looking for a smoke of Hyper. They want to bring him down to a blaze of glory, and that appears to be the case. Inkswell will end up not stunning, but there's no way he gets away with this, and he will not get away. Tried to go through the Twin Gate, could not successfully get away. One more kill for Jahan on the Grimstroke. That's his 4th kill of the game, and just like that, Radiant are looking for a seat on that top tier 1 tower. Enough is a Meteor Hammer ready to go. And for their part, Dire are not looking for the bot T1 tower quite yet. It's literally full HP, 1,800 out of 1,800, so this could be a relatively free tower. Siege tower goes down, last hit to MPL and the Weaver. Now a 2,000 net worth for the Radiant side of YWSMS. That's got to be one of the goofier, names in Lad's history. Yeah, we smoke meth, so. That last so. It implies a very certain tone. What tone that is, I'm not entirely sure, but it is distinctive. Mid lane, we're going in for a kill on Jinx, perhaps. Inkswell Tide walks forward. EMP, Blood Grenade both used, and Lefty secures that last hit. So with 1 tower in the bag, they'll go for a mid T1 tower again, looking to begin to choke out this Dire side map. Look at these Dire heroes. They enjoy hitting creeps. Again, Legion likes to have like 2, maybe 3 items. Magnus loves his items. Spectre, of course, loves her items. And if you begin to, siege these T1 towers, move towards these tier 2 towers, get us some aggressive vision. It's a lot harder for Dire to play the map macro-wise, so again, just good play. Again, Radiant perhaps on a meth fuel bender right now. And looking to run it on down. Again, if I were on meth playing Dota, I would probably run it down too. Oh, Blink RP top lane. Shadow step forward. Weaver gets time lapse off in time, though. That's a lot of effort for no kill on Weaver. They'll head to Jahan's Grimstroke. He can perhaps turn, gets an Inkswell off in time, and that will do a little bit of damage. Weaver needs to still run away, though. He tanks the ulti from Furion, blinked forward by Magnus, but Weaver's a little bit too fast, a little bit too furious, and will survive. So it ends up being RP used, 1 kill secured for the RP, though not the intended kill. That's a lot of confidence from Weaver. I don't think he didn't use a healing lotus. I don't think he had 2 of them, so he has to have a lot of confidence in getting that getting that time lapse off in time to not use the lotus. If he had 2 lotuses, then I'm factually incorrect. My apologies. Would that be in the fight recap? Apparently not. Maybe it'd be in the vanilla fight recap, but I have like there's a caster config setting that's like a sort of a condensed fight recap, where it gets rid of all the unimportant things and only leaves like the important ulti cooldowns and stuff in the fight recap. Apparently, healing notice would not be included in the the condensed fight recap. Top lane, there is action brewing, but we're not quite here yet. Jinx has dodged the gank. I'm looking at some key item pickups right now. We're not far from Diffusal Blade on Pangolier, not far from Deso on Weaver. We are already at Meteor Hammer Phase Boots on Tide, so perhaps it could be time for Yeah We Smoke Meth to play the 5-man Dota. They've already grabbed all 3 Tier 1 towers, so they're beginning to work on this top Tier 2 tower. Easier said than done, of course, but that is Dota 2 for you. Thank you to Sniper for the sub, by the way. You'll hear my thank you in 2 minutes when the delay catches up. How are the lads doing? It's a new season. Brand new season. First game, season opener at that, so how we're doing, we're fresh and we're fantastic. As far as me, I'm here to cast some Dota 2. It's what I do sometimes. Ooh, so good Wisdom Rune snipe by Jinx, by the way. He TP'd in for the Radiant side Wisdom Rune. Grabbed that one. TP'd away, and now he's headed off for the Dire side Wisdom Rune. So that's a play that Furion's quite good at making, and Jinx, being the absolute game player he is, was there to make it. Hopefully the mic didn't pick that up. My beverage kind of slipped out of my hand a little bit, and it fell on the desk a little bit violently. It didn't spill, mind you, or else I'd be not quite calm right now, but I digress. Over to the top lane, we're seeing Phoenix get silenced by Jahan. Inkswell on lefty will once again stun the Phoenix. Roll has been used, but Phoenix is not dead. But he didn't get Supernova off in time. The duel was won by Curly. It's a 1-for-1 support trade so far. Dire head in for Storm Soul. He'll go down. Blink RP is there on Pangolier. Festival self-stun as well, but it was worth it. It's Pangolier on the run. He'll attempt the pig pole and get away. Dire, of course, look to pursue. Festival can blink in 4 more seconds. Lefty swashbuckled away with a lack of mana on Magnus thanks to that Diffusal Blade. Festival will back off. It ended up being a 2-for-1. Potentially could have even been a bigger win for Happy Birthday Hatsune and Miku, but it's certainly a win nonetheless. The one man who was not in that team fight, of course, would be the Weaver. Was Tide also not there, actually? Here, my Tide, I think, is also not there. So I guess there were 2 very strong heroes just kind of farming right now, which is important. Mid lane, Hyper is out of mana. Weaver perhaps looks to go in. Duel is available, but Shikuchi will cancel that one for now. Cold Snap. Tornado hits the Legion Commander. She's certainly going to die. Down goes Crony. 11 kills now for the side of Yeah We Smoke Meth. They'll begin to work on that mid-tier 2 tower. It's a siege unit, a Meteor Hammer, and a Desolator all working their magic right now. The tower will get glyphed, but Radiant's counter-glyph. I believe the siege unit will still end up dying, but that will mean, again, with the waves coming in bottom as well, they can easily move that siege to the bottom lane, perhaps play the tri-camp as they're doing now, push in the bottom wave, push in the middle wave, play the macro game. They will not have Weaver, mind you. He'll be in the top lane, but as for Yeah We Smoke Meth, they're still very strong right now. As long as they've got the Tide. Speaking of Tide, What's on his courier right now? The answer is a Blink Dagger. So we've seen the power of the Mag Blink. I mean, we'll see one on Legion relatively soon, but for now we see one on the Tide. And again, Blink Ravage is good. I'm not really. I mean, this isn't some like new revelation me saying this, but Blink Ravage is good. Skewer away by Festival. Crony runs away as well. Blink in by enough. Looking for the Legion Commander. She's got no Blink as mentioned. Blade Mail has been used, but ooh, that is going to most certainly be a dead Legion Commander. Now Beach Jeans and Festival are on the run. Lefty is rolling. He finds Beach Jeans. And Phoenix will most certainly die as well. 2 more kills for Yeah, We Smoke Meth. We'll say at this point, it appears as though Radiant are listening to Lefty. That appears to be a good move. It's also a good album, but I digress. Again, they're playing around with the Pango. They're playing around with the Tide. Speaking of Tide, he's going in bottom for the Furion. Furion's incredibly dead. Invoker arrived. Mostly for fun. Wasn't really needed, to be fair, but sometimes team play is good. Over to top lane. Shadow Step in by Hyper, looking for Jahan. He'll selflessly use Ink Swell on the Weaver for but in comes the RP. But Weaver's still absolutely fine. Weaver looks to go in once again. Blink, duel with a Ravage, turns it around. It's an absolute disaster for Happy Birthday Hatsune Miku. Yeah, we smoke meth. They're smoking a victory cigar right now. What an absolute huge fight win. The game's not quite over yet. With a fight win like that, a dual win for Weaver. Not only is it a materially large win, the morale victory is absolutely fantastic. You are jumping up and down in your chair like, yeah, we got a dual win on our Weaver. It's over. So, I have to be a little more analytical, I'm sure. How did Dire win this game? Well, they still have good team fight. They still have Duel. They still have Supernova. They still have RP. We've yet to see Happy Birthday Hatsune Miku use their combo together extremely well. And that is what we're going to want to see is that entire team fight combination simply work together. And perhaps we're still looking for more items on Spectre. She's not quite at the Radiance yet. Again, Radiance into perhaps Manta will be the ideal timing. Perhaps simply Radiance plus Yasha will have to be what it is to work with. Just for now, Radiant are running it down. They found Festival bottom lane. He appears to be incredibly dead. And he's leashed up by that Tide Shard, that dead in the water, and as a result, there's no skewering away. You know, between the Phantom's Embrace and that dead in the water anchor, it's so hard to simply play Dota 2. So you have to remove this 3-hit Phantom's Embrace, and you have to also remove the 5-hit dead in the water, and it's like, man, I have to hit 8 things to play Dota 2? How do I hit 8 things? Especially if you're a hero like Mag, sure, you've got Echo, but that's not enough attack speed to actually get the Phantom's Embrace and Dead in the Water Anchor off of you. So if you're Mag, you're just kind of sitting there like, man, what can you do? It's a tragic tale. Tragic, tragic tale, of course. So we once again see the main body of the Radiant side playing the Tri-Camp area. Bottom tier 2 appears to be the objective on their minds. They already have the Wisdom Rune as well. We can perhaps go tier 2. Interesting interaction there, but appears that the play is tier 2 tower into Tormentor. As that happens, Dire have their eyes on a pickoff on Invoker, perhaps. Invoker is ghost walked up, however. Back to the Radiant Tormentor. It is dead. The free shard will go to Pangolier. That's a big shard to get, because again, Invoker already had his shard purchased. Grimstroke already had his shard purchased. So as a result, you get Tide already had his shard purchased as well. So between the... Wait. That would see a guaranteed shard for Pangolier, because they already had 4 shards. Interesting. That's an interesting play there. Because he already purchased 4 shards, that's a guaranteed shard for Pangolier. That's a good way to feed your Pangolier right there. So now all 5 Radiant heroes have a shard. Dire Smoke out, they've dueled the Pangolier, and Pangolier will end up being dead. Lefty in the grave. Enough. Looks for a Ravage. He'll cancel that one. He'll gush the Legion Commander instead. Meanwhile, Dire hit for Storm Soldat. Storm Soldat will Tornado and end up dying anyways. Blink, Ravage. Hits on 3. Weaver. Hits Spectre. Spectre certainly will end up dying. It's 2-for-2 trade so far. We head to Beach Jeans. Beach Jeans is also dead. Last hit by the gush of enough. A 3-for-2 win there. Comes out for YWSMS, so ultimately, that was the sort of fight you wanted if you were Happy Birthday Hatsune Miku. But it simply did not work. Again, there was too much dire damage in the way. Blink RP is there on Weaver, but they cannot kill this man. He time-lapsed in time, and he's once again going forward. Skewer comes out from Festival, but it's time to die. Sunstrike missed entirely, but it was not needed. Weaver, however, is low on HP. He's trapped in the Sprout. He had no way to get out. That's a lot of gold going back. Blink Duel's there on Tide. It's an incredibly hard kill to get inside the duel. Once the duel ends, Tide will end up ticking on down. There's too much damage, I believe. In the last, it goes to Hyper. That's a lot of gold fed. If we open our good friend the graph, we see a peak here of about a 13,000 sort of lead. We've already seen more than 2,000 go back. I got 2,500 going back. And importantly, a lot of that money goes to the Spectre. Again, the primary win condition, if Happy Birthday Hatsune Miku are going to win, is going to be a very farmed Spectre. So to get that money is huge. The Yasha is finished. We are on the way to Manta, of course. Might be a little bit, but every step counts. However, if you are, yeah, we smoke meth, so the play is obvious. I don't even need to say it, but I'll say it anyway, it's kind of my job. It is go to Roshan. You grab what is actually the first Roshan in the game. You grab that Aegis, you put it on Weaver, and once you do that, then your Dota 2 game is very easy to play. Bot lane, enough will go in. Sunstrike misses once again. Spectre is tanky, but is she tanky enough? In come more TPs. Inkswell stuns. Supernova is on the floor. It will end up not dying, but Spectre will. And now the Phoenix is returning to the Dota 2 game. Icarus Dive will be the play to get away. The problem is there's just too much Radiant gap close. Sunray? Wait a minute. That's a good Sunray. There's no more TP cancels left. So good Sunray to escape, but it's still a loss there. You lost Supernova's cooldown, and you lost the Spectre. Sure, this T1 tower was ratted by Jinx. However, it's still a win there for the side of yeah, we smoke meth. Blink, dual top lane, finds the Weaver. Blade Mail doing a lot of damage. That's a dual win for Crony. Blade Mail did a lot of work. That is one pop-off Blade Mail. A big solo kill to get there. That's 1,200 gold going to Crony. Talk about a good way to get a down payment on a BKB. Just solo kill the Weaver. And get some Dota Plus shards while you're at it from Jinx and Hyper. Smoke on up. 3-man smoke. It's already popped on Tide. Phoenix, Furion, Spectre, they're all in danger. Link Skewer actually finds the Grimstone, so Jahan will not be in this fight any longer. Hyper is still here. Tornado hits, but again, Spectre's not dead. Both Radiant Subs are dead. Dire want to go to Lefty. Lefty was fucking away. Shockwave hits. He's hitting. He's rolling. Pango will attempt to get away, but Radiant are on a rough retreat right now. Weaver's still dead. Tide's running away. Pango's running away. It's TP forward by Jinx. It'll find enough. So it'll certainly be a dead Tide Hunter. Duel is there as well. One more duel win for Crony. He's up to 94 duel damage. So if you include the Weaver pickoff, that's 4 kills for the side of Happy Birthday Hatsune Miku. And again, that colossal lead we saw is once again going down. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down again. And if you are a fan of Jinx and company, that is exactly what you want to see, of course. Mid T1 tower goes down. That's some unclaimed gold now claimed by the side of the Dire. Up until recently, they had killed no towers. Now, they've killed 2. And again, at this point, we are in a situation where yeah, we smoke meth. They have just not gone for the obvious objective. That obvious objective has and always will be Roshan. And they've yet to go there. Now that they've lost a couple of heroes and pickoffs, so you know what? You know what's a good idea? Let's go to Roshan. They've got Weaver with the Swarm and a Desolator. On top of that, they've got Tide. It'll be an incredibly easy Roshan. And when you kill Jinx, it'll only be easier. He's dead. Beyond that top lane in that north side jungle. And we are now headed into the Roshan pits. Happy birthday, Hatsune Miku are well aware of what's going on, but at this point, stopping it is very difficult. Because Roshan's already dead. That's 2 lives for Weaver. He is of the Immortal for the next 5 minutes. And it seems like we will see at least one high ground attempt with that bout of immortality for the Weaver of MPL. Again, if they can get a pickoff before going high ground, that's the obvious play there. Again, looking for one mid lane right now. If they get that, then that will be huge. Crony blinks away in time to disjoint the gush. He's running for his life, and his life will be alive for now. Again, we are playing a battle of positioning right now in terms of where the waves are positioned. We are at 2 diametrically opposed goals. If you are Radiant, of course, you want to bring these Radiant creeps toward the Dire base. If you're Dire, you want to prevent that. We see, again, a little bit of split action going on. Bot wave, we're seeing a lot of pushing by Hatsune and Miku. Jinx is keeping in to cut the top wave. And right now, the mid wave is the only one that needs to be killed. Crony is killing it, so with that in mind, the lane situation is very good for Happy Birthday Hatsune and Miku. Again, the goal here is to delay the game for the next 3 minutes and 40 seconds until the Aegis naturally expires. If you can prevent these waves from coming in, that is the absolute imperative goal here. And again, so far, they have not died playing the lane cutting game. They have not died pushing in these waves. As a result, yeah, we smoke meth will attempt to play the sweep. They'll run around looking for these pickoffs, and they'll find Festival perhaps. He's got Blink and BKB. And well, they'll skewer, but at this point, he's simply going to die. That's a big kill there for the Radiant to find. Last hit going to Storm Soldana on the Invoker. He's dead for a minute, though he does have Biomedic. So with Mag dead, we bring in the bot wave. But as that happens, it's bot time for the mid wave to be brought in by the Dire side. They're pushing in the top wave as well. Hyper is on the run from NPL. Tide's on the way. Blink Inkswell will end up stunning into a Ravager, committing for the Spectre kill. Spectre is purged by Crony. Supernova's on the floor. Blink duel is there, an Invoker. Spectre is so low. The duel is won by Crony. Supernova stuns 3. Well, perhaps it's too late. Hyper is dead. However, Mag has brought back into the game. He TP'd to the outpost, looking for an opportunity. But again, your cores are dying. So is your Furion. That's a triple kill for lefty on the Pangolier. An absolute disaster for Happy Birthday Hatsune Miku. They thought they had the fight opportunity, but they did not. All they have is sadness. They killed the Weaver once. They killed the Invoker, but it's nowhere near enough. And now again, you've got these buybacks, one on Spec, Legion, and Furion. But the ideal play is simply use these glyphs to not have to use the buybacks. That does mean, though, that potentially we're going to lose a full set of racks. However, again, the wave was cut by the illusions. So with no wave, it will only be ranged racks. Again, the bleeding is being limited by the side of Happy Birthday Hatsune Miku. Without these little macro tricks here, you are losing one set of racks. You might even lose more, but instead, you've only lost a range racks. You've only lost one buyback. Is it a win? No. It's very bad, actually. But it could be a lot worse. I'm being asked in the chat what this, and I quote, weeb Hatsune Miku shit is. So, to the best of my knowledge, Hatsune Miku is like like, what's the right word? Spokeswoman wouldn't be the right word. Sort of like how do I describe it? The mascot's probably weird. She's like the mascot of this thing called Vocaloid, which is, I don't actually know what it is. I asked one of my weeb friends about it, and he explained it. I don't remember what he said. But yeah, she's like the vocal. We're going in now on Legion Commander. Legion is silenced by Jahan. MPL is on the way. Inkswell will not stun. The Crony is in a lot of danger. Brought down by the Weaver. The heal was not enough. And now we'll head to Phoenix. Phoenix will leave her dive away, but Storm Soldat has a cold snap. Phoenix is half HP on the run, but his life is it's absolutely forfeit. Double kill for NPL on the Weaver. Nice 2 pick-off kills to Gets. But yeah, if you want to if you want to research further, I've given you the information you need. Look up Vocaloid. Yeah, Vocaloid. That's the one, I believe. I think everything I said was correct. I could be wrong. Either way, we are headed on into the Dire base once again. Melee racks mid. They're already dead. Alacrity Weaver does a lot of damage. He's #1 net worth by a country mile, and the buildings are certainly feeling every little bit of that 24,000 net worth. Top tier 3 goes down. Melees are under attack. Dire have all their cooldowns and all of their heroes. But it's still a very hard fight to take. Festival blinks, looks for a skewer back, but could not find the Weaver. Pixels away. And as a result, Weaver retreats. It's a clean retreat for YWSMS. And now they're hunting for more. They found Hyper. Tornado EMP are there from Storm Soul. Hyper is very low on mana. Invoker perhaps might die. Jinx TP is in. Invoker is dead. But Hyper's TP has now been cancelled. Lefty rolls on back. Robert is there on 2. It's time for Dire heroes to die. Hyper and Jinx, they're both in the grave. NPL and Lefty, they're both dominating. And I think we know what time it is. You run it back towards that Dire base. You perhaps threaten Negas. You at the very least look to force out these buybacks, if they have them. Beach Jeans is on the run. He'll look to dive and Sunray away, but he's brought down again by a swashbuckle of Lefty. Lefty is 8-2-8 in that Pangolier, and well, Beach Jeans does have buyback importantly, but again, you don't want to use them. Crony looks to go in for a blink dual play, but again, the Glimmer Cape keeps Jahan alive. Lefty rolls on up. You have Magnus and Legion Commander bound together. Blink in by enough. Supernova on the floor. Radiant will look to back off, dodging out these key Dire cooldowns. Sunstrike hits this time, though to little effect. So again, it was a buyback by both Dire supports. Megas are being threatened. NPL got the range racks. Megas are still alive. Blink in Skewer. Finds the Tide. Tide has no Ravage. He's about 3/4 HP, still quite tanky. Weaver goes on the barracks. Dire will glyph. Ghoul is there on Tide. Roll in by Lefty. He's stunning on 3. Legion will go down. And in goes enough. Looking for more. He's in the fountain. But Festival is dead. That is a dieback. Teammate on teammate violence from last season. Lefty is swashbuckling at the foot of the fountain at this point. The Dire are crumbling. Happy birthday, Hatsune Miku. May have to look towards game number 2 real soon, because Radiant have secured Megas. Lefty is inside the Sprout. He'll swashbuckle away. He's low on HP, but he's still here to play the Dire base. Phoenix gets annihilated by NPL. And there are no G's. There are the G's in the chat. This one is over. Game number 1, the first game of the season, is won by YWSMS. So. Again, pretty exciting game 1, though I will say, pretty one-sided game 1. I didn't get a post-game screen. That's not ideal. I can manually invite everybody, though, so hey. We'll do that, because we didn't get a post-game screen, because I don't know why we didn't get a post-game screen. Dota 2 just doesn't work sometimes. You know, they say it just works. This time, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. But again, certainly a strong opening to the season for the Mess Smokers. Again, pretty aggressive, pretty high octane gameplay. They knew they wanted to hit timings on heroes like Weaver, and they hit the timings, and then they won. Not a particularly insightful thing I just said, but it's quite accurate. And you saw that a lot with Weaver at the pro level, and you're seeing it. You're seeing it now. Yeah, we will have a little break though before game number 2. I'm gonna go grab some water, go to the bathroom, all that good stuff, rest the voice. My name is Badger, and we'll catch you soon for game number 2 of Yeah We Smoke Meth versus Happy Birthday Hatsune Miku.
Five seconds remaining. Dia team ban. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Radiant team ban. 10 seconds remaining. Dia team ban. Radiant team ban. Radiant team ban. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. team pick. Radiant team pick.
Weaver.
Dire team ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Invoker.
Greetings and salutations, Dota fans. It is back. Wait. Hi, Badger back for some more League of Legends Season 14 action. Fumbled the words there on that one, but that is how it goes sometimes. It is the lads Season 14 opener of Yeah We Smoke Meth So taking on Happy Birthday Hatsune and Miku. Game 1 was a pretty dominant win for Yeah We Smoke Meth So. They picked Weaver, and it went well. Happy Birthday Hatsune and Miku for their part have seen the Weaver do well and said, you know what?
10 seconds remaining.
This hero's good. We want this hero. Look at the first base bands.
Remaining.
Ancient Apparition, Spirit Breaker, Dazzle, Tree Protector, Earth Spirit, Kunkka, Bristleback, Brewmaster, Grimstroke, Primal Beast, all banned outs. We already mentioned the first pick. That was Weaver, the 8-pick Weaver, and it was responsible for the 9-pick Chaos Knight, who I believe was banned out of first phase last game. Looking at the 13 pick, it's once again Invoker for perhaps Storm Soul support again. We saw that game number 1.
Radiant
Perhaps we'll see that again in game number 2, but of course Invoker is a flexible hero in nature. Jinx, drafting for the Dyers, responded with Muerta and Dawnbreaker, so again, there is a lot of flex potential here.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds.
A lot
remaining.
of flex potential. You look at the Dawnbreaker, Muerta, and Weaver, they can all play more than one role,
Radiant team pick.
which makes this pick phase very difficult. For now, we will see Visage. Not what I expected. Not a hero we see all that much of. But we will see it anyways.
10 seconds remaining.
Again, perhaps that will end up being the offlane pick for enough. If memory serves, he does play it offlane. But it's been It's been a little bit since I've seen this Visage hero get selected in lands.
Dire team pick.
And they'll grab a Lich as well, which is not what I expected. No siree, not what I expected. But that could potentially be a pretty good lane, actually.
10 seconds remaining.
More than likely, though, if it ends up being Invoker Sup, it would then be like a Visage Invoker lane, and you'd think a CK Lich lane. And CK Lich actually makes a lot more sense than Visage Lich. Again, look at the kill threat between Lich and CK. A lot of damage. Again, you throw in the Frost Shield with the CK, it's pretty good as well, so makes a lot of sense. Dire have some time to respond.
Dire team ban.
And they'll grab the Naga. Interesting selection. Is a hero who certainly has some upside this game. It's not the easiest game to bring the Naga down. And if you get going, you can do a lot against these CK Visage cores if that ends up being the 1-3.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Got Flea in my chat. Legendary Francis Lee. Good to have him back, of course.
Team ban.
Say hi to Flea. See how he's doing here for some that's actually it's actually not the first time someone's asked to marry me today. It's actually might be the third time if I'm counting correctly, which is definitely an odd thing to hear 3 times in one day, but that what the fuck. I don't respond to that. He's gonna hear my reaction in 2 minutes. Surely. Those are normal things you read in chat every day. Where were we? We are in a ban phase though. Necro, Pangolier, Tinker, all banned out. We are looking at the last ban now of the opening series. About a minute of reserve time left for Happy Birthday Hatsune and Miku. We'll probably ban out some other degenerate hero. And then after they do that, they will grab what I assume is a mid lane selection, but at that point, that could literally be anything. It could literally be anything at this point. You could definitely put some of these dire heroes mid. I don't think I would personally put any of these dire heroes mid. But you could. If there were certain players in this lobby, I might be inclined to say Muerta mid or Dawnbreaker mid, but those players are not in this lobby, so where we go with these last 2 picks we have yet to see. I think it might end up being both mid selected here, because again, Storm Soldat played a pretty mean Invoker Sup last game. And it seems like both teams believe that it will be 2 mid selected with the last 2 picks. Again, Pango, Tinker, Necro, Puck, all heroes who get some significant play in the middle lane, if not exclusive play in the middle lane. Half-minute reserve time. We're chewing into that one. Jinx. Venezuela's very own Jinx. Contemplating his options. At this point, there aren't many. There are not many of them left. He will grab the Earthshaker. Is a hero who a number of NA players like to play in the middle lane. I believe Festival plays Shaker mid. If he doesn't, then he has about a minute and a half to learn how. Because I'm pretty sure it's their mid lane selection. I will say, though, it actually might be Shaker supports. Because Jinx loves this hero sub. I don't think he's going to play it, but he does love it. The response ends up being Windrunner. So yeah, it is Shaker mid. And the response will be Wind Ranger mid. I believe Wind Ranger wins that lane, but I don't actually know much about it. See, this is usually when I have a co-caster, I often bring in somebody who knows something about the mid lane, because I don't know much about mid. Anybody who watched season 13 Lads knows I am not a mid expert. Unless you're DK or P or Cole, then you probably have a very low opinion of my mid lane XD. No flame to either player, of course, but I digress. It's Weaver Sup, Muerta Sup, Dawnbreaker Core in the off lane. Radiance roles are, other than Invoker, as expected. But I guess given game number 1, Invoker Sup actually is expected. I'm pretty sure this Radiant Draft is just much easier to play. Obviously, if Dire can coordinate their abilities and delay the game, then they'll probably win. But given how game 1 went, I would really enjoy this Radiant side draft as this Radiant team. Seems like a pretty simple macro concept of you get items on CK and you get items on Windrunner, and then you win the game like you did last game. So we'll have to see if in having a player swap, Happy Birthday Hatsune and Miku are more prepared to deal with the early to mid game aggression coming out from Yeah We Smoke Meth. So if you are just joining us, welcome to game number 2 of Yeah We Smoke Meth So on the Radiant side, taking on Happy Birthday Hatsune and Miku, who are taking up the Dire side. Again, same side as game 1, same Radiant side, same Dire side. We are yet to see if it will be the same result. However, my name is Badger. I am joined by nobody because I don't know. Everyone declined my invites. That I ended up asking. But digressions aside, we do see a fight brewing in the bottom river area. Jinx goes forward and scouts a little bit. Say a very bold sentry ward right there. Again, I think that's a bit influenced by game 1, because Jinx got some very early wards up on the Furion. This would cover a lot of areas that he warded last game. Looking at Radiant Vision, they now see Weaver. Like, hey, wait a minute. That's a Weaver. Chaos Bolt hits. Shikuchi is active. Weaver will not take the power shot, however. CK is running forward. A few more hits will do the job, and that will be first blood going to MPL in the Chaos Lance. Which, again, that's pretty good. Especially after last game, you ended up getting first blood on the support Invoker, not a core. This time it goes to the carry. And I mean, given how game 1 went, I don't think this guy needs first blood. He had a very fantastic laning phase, so surely giving him first blood will not make it any easier. It will be Lich CK versus Weaver Sup Dawnbreaker. I believe CK Lich should win this lane. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. I could be completely wrong. We're going to pretend I'm right. Over the top lane, we have Invoker Sup plus Visage taking on Naga and Muerta Sup. Again, the big ability we're looking at in this lane, of course, will be that Soul Assumption. If you're Naga, I guess you can potentially use the mirror image to dodge some stuff out there, but if you are enough, you might be targeting the Muerta with that anyways. Just to, because again, the latest lane will riskily play out. You're going to see these subs constantly trading because they're both ranged heroes. And say Invoker can catch the, bot lane. We're going in, but Crony lives. Again, say Invoker catches the Muerta too far out, the Cold Snap. At that point, it's pretty easy to get a Soul Assumption in there and really collapse in this Muerta and just get the kill there. Again, maybe that wouldn't happen in an ideal way the lane plays out, but I've played a lot of Lad side lanes. I've casted many more Lad side lanes. That's just kind of how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you overstep, like now! Tornado in the Cold Snap, enough, has been feared away by Muerta, Soul Assumption is there, EMP will hits. Kavath? Kavote 6 string will end up living for now on the Muerto. That's a lot of damage taken. One more attempt like that, and that'll be his life. I believe Hyper actually dodged the EMP with the mirror image as well, so good dodge there. If anybody, by the way, knows the pronunciation on Kavoth 6 string, then please enlighten me. Cold Snap EMP top lane, though Muerto will not die. But again, favorable trades, that does mean enough in Storm Soul Dot being double range heroes can perhaps harass the Naga. He's a hero with naturally high armor, but damage is damage. Bot lane, it's Swarm and Shikuchi forward by Jinx into Blood Grenade, which will go down. That's Jahan in the grave. MPL goes in, but he will not get a kill. Instead, he needs to be a little bit careful. Both sides are here to brawl. They both think they're going to win this fight. Who will win? We don't know yet. Seems like both sides will mutually walk away, however, for now. Again, CK will lifesteal up thanks to the Chaos Strike eventually. A little bit of lifesteal here and there. Chaos Bolt bot lane hits on Crony. Crony is on the run. He'll try to stick on up and survive. Correction, Lotus on up and survive. But it will not work. Jinx wants a counter kill on MPL. MPL is low. MPL, I believe, will die, but now it's Jinx who's going to be low. But so is Jahan. Jahan goes down. 2 kills for Jinx. Big win for Weaver in that lane. Getting soul XP on both kills. He's nearly level 4. That's a long time Lads player. Jinx certainly feeling real good on the support Weaver now. Level 2 Swarm. Or sorry, level 2 Shikuchi actually. So he's 1-2-1 in terms of skill build. MPL's being gone in on by Crony and Jinx. Jinx attempted body block, got a little bit of blocking, but inevitably MPL walks away. He's a little bit too tanky, a little bit too strong. Meanwhile, top lane, Enough took some pretty significant heat. Had to use the salve to survive, but with Visage being as low as he is, Hyper and Kavo's Sing String will, again, hit Storm Soul Dot a little bit. Has anybody let me play Tree in the last year? Yes. Because 12 months is a long time. I have indeed played Tree in the last year. Legion. Not Legion. Crony on the top breaker, sorry. That's a bit of a mistake from last game. Will end up being gone on. Jahan nearly dies to Jinx. Jinx now tanks those tower shots. Oh, Legion Commander. Oof. But yeah, Jinx got a little bit too aggressive on that one. Ends up going down. I have indeed played Tree a couple times in the last year. I have to play it, because Lads Finals, Season 12, was in the last year, I believe. I played it 4 times in that. Won 2 of those games. Top lane, we see Muerta, again, very low, as is Enough, however. So Storm Soul Dot let the Soul Looks be for the kill on Muerta. However, Hyper did not get the goal on the kill for Visage. Either way, though, with Visage being removed from the lane, is certainly pretty good for the Naga Siren, but inevitably when Visage returns, that'll be full HP and full mana. Yeah, I do not get to play much Tree, but I also don't play much Dota, so I don't get much opportunity to play Tree. Mid lane, it's Rune time. John will sinister gaze. Festival grabs the haste rune. He'll echo slam on 2. He slaps down the Lich. And he'll run away unless there's a huge turn-up. There's not enough mana for Storm Soul Dots. Power Shot is well off the mark for Lefty. Meanwhile, top lane, we're diving for Enough. Illus and the net are there. Visage is feared away, and now that'll be a dead Visage. 1 more kill for Hyper. Some fascinating stuff. Meanwhile, bot lane, they're diving for MPL. They're going all the way under that tower. The CK will end up dying. The trade will end up being for Crony. Now it's Jinx who's on the run. He's got the wand charges, but didn't use them. He didn't use the wand charges. So Jahan gets a double kill, avenging his Chaos Knight and then some. There's some wild stuff going on in this Dota 2 game. Again, happy birthday Hatsune and Miku. They are showing up to play game number 2 with their full 5-man roster. They are ready to go. However, the game's still is certainly not decided, but let's put it this way. This time, last game, Radiant were up by 2k, and now they're down. So, progress. See both teams throwing out spells top lane, though to very little effect. Just a little bit of poking here and there. Bot lane. Something's brewing bot lane. Perhaps NPL is baiting. I'm not sure if... Okay, Dire actually do know it's an award that Lich was there. Because Lich was hiding in the trees as if to bait the CK here. However, with this ward, they knew the CK was baiting here thanks to Lich there. So they don't want to go in here and feed. As a result, they just backed off and went over here and farmed. And for that matter, Jinx went all the way to the top lane. So I'm not sure if Lich is aware, but he's TPing top lane anyways. Muerta goes in. Net into the dead shot is there on Visage. He's still half HP. Jahan turns with a Chain Frost. Hyper is still fine, however. Enough is dead. Kabote, a 6 string, is very low. Jahan tries to bring him down. He will eventually get healed back into the Chain Frost. Chaos Pull hits on Jinx. So it's 1 core for 2 subs. I believe it's a Radiant Sign win, because not only will they get those 2 kills, they will kick out the Naga from the lane. Of course, Naga, at this stage of the game, is relatively content to simply not be here anymore. Or maybe not, because he goes in there and gets Delusions killed. I'm being flamed by Filski in my chat. I'm just saying, I was playing Tree before it was cool to play Tree, you know? Nobody played Tree. And then I played Tree, and everyone started playing Tree. Am I responsible for that one? You know what? Maybe I am. all the TI players only started playing Tree because of me. Bot lane, Crony is dead. Focus Fire and Power Shot from the Windrunner do a lot of damage. Meanwhile, top lane, the fight at the Twin Gate, Jinx will end up going down. The dead shot was not there in time to save him. So that's 2 Dire side deaths in 2 very different locations. Hyper will attempt to use the Illus to de-push a little bit. Wave's mostly dead. NPL will dodge dead shot. Tornado EMP hit the Muerta. Nets and Solar Guardian have been used top lane. CK is half HP, stunned, Hexton on the run. But he's not dead quite yet. He's still walking away. He's got the armlet and 6 stick charges. He's looking to toggle the blood grenade successfully, and he will do so. Chain Frost is the counterplay from Jahan, but now he's incredibly low. He'll get brought down by Crony's hammer. So, inevitably, we ask ourselves, well, why do so few heroes die top lane? Honestly, I'm not sure why. It ended up being a 1-for-1 support trade, I believe. Yeah, Weaver for Lich. Meanwhile, mid lane, we have the Blink reveal for Festival. He Echo slammed and brought down the Windrunner. That's the kill we were looking for, but alas, it was not on your screen because I had bad camera work there. But that's Dota 2 for you. Spoke up on 2. No Echo Slam this time around, but they have a target in mind. It's CK at the Tri-Camp. However, it seems like CK had some idea this was coming. He backed away from the Tri-Camp, ended up surviving this Weaver Shaker smoke gank. Meanwhile, bot lane, a fight's brewing there as well, perhaps. They want to kick out the Naga Siren. Shackle will not latch. Focus Fire is there. Hyper will attempt to pig pull the way. Power Shot will finish the job. Again, Hyper had an idea it was coming, but he got a little bit too greedy. And as a result, he's now a little bit too dead. It's once again a very even game so far. It's less than a 1,000 lead in favor of Yeah We Smoke Meth, so. But unlike game 1, it's definitely not the massive out of the laning phase advantage. Mid lane, it is mid laner on mid laner violence. Festival's on the run. Power Shot is available in 3. Festival uses the Fairy Fire. He's trying to get away. Power Shot will not end up hitting, however, so Lefty didn't land that left-hand shot this time around, and as a result, Festival's life will be spared.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Meanwhile, bot lane, Jinx is going in for enough. Enough is entirely fine, but Jinx will kick him out, allowing Hyper to secure the last hit. Well, secure the siege, I should say, in this case, on that that bot T1 tower. The last hit did not go to the Naga, but what can you do? Again, Jinx scouts things out, runs into Invoker. Tornado has been used, but again, it seems like the crowd control was not used properly. As a result, Weaver gets away. I'm not sure if that kill was possible anyways. Lefty will try to make it happen. Shackle available. Focus Fire used. Shackle will not latch, however, there's no dust on the Windrunner. Now, Incontestable blinking and slamming, finding Lefty. Lefty will end up being brought down. Crony secures that kill. That's a big kill to get on Lefty. Okay. I mean, the Chain Frost targets is dead. But they were illusions, though. So, I guess, again, they're just like tipping Hyper against these illusion baits. Again, we saw Chain Frost baited out here. Tornado baited out over here. Again, the illusion micro apparently is tripping up the side of, yeah, we smoke meth, so. Okay, maybe too much meth to deal with the illus or something. Either way, mid lane, Lefty has returned, looking for the minute 14 room, but instead it'll go the way of his mid lane counterpart, the Earthshaker Festival. What can you do? If you are playing the drinking game that I mentioned in game 1, my apologies. I believe that was the exact point you have reached the legal limits on on being dead from alcohol poisoning. My apologies. Again, happy birthday, Hatsune and Miku are content to play the split farm game. Yeah, we smoke meth, so we'll smoke up on 3. It's Lefty and both supports. Headed to the top lane. Looking at Radiant Vision, you see very little. You see pings, but again, the pings will end up being blind and off the mark. They now see the Weaver top lane, but again, it's Weaver support, not the target you want. Again, perhaps through the Twin Gates we will go, but perhaps not. They're headed towards Jinx. Jinx has been scouted. Shackle Shot will not land, however. So somehow, someway, Jinx gets away. Again, big gank. All 5 Radiant side heroes in his space. But he remains. In come the TPs. Lich has found Jinx, but there is nothing Lich can do solo. His team is on the way, but the same can be true of Jinx. Chain Frost has been used, bounced only twice. Jahan is low. Jahan now will end up dying, but Festival is being kited around. Solar Guardians on the way. Crony's now in the fight. Jinx will time-lapse. NPL looks to find something, but he can't lock down anybody right now. Now Hyper is here. He's got the net on Lefty. Lefty cannot move. He cannot run. He's trying to fight. Jinx will end up going down. But Dire actually cannot lock down the Windrunner enough. Tornado will end up buying some space for the Windrunner to further sidestep. NPL's here to fight. Blink! Echo Slam! They're on to Storm Slowdown down. NPL down. Festival gave his life to the team. And the team's still trying to fight. Crony enough. They're both dead. Windrunner's on the run. And she can run no longer. That is a 5-for-3 resounding win for happy birthday Hatsune Miku. A triple kill for Hyper on the Naga Siren. And we were lamenting the lack of farm on Hyper Spectre game number 1, but in game 2, it's the opposite tale. He's number 1 net worth by a country mile, and it's his game to lose. This is a great position to be in for the Naga Siren. So Invoker has purchased Dust. And he's drained the mana of Jinx, but Jinx is still fine. Seems like Jinx will now get his mana entirely back thanks to a very fun RNG 1 in 14. I guess it's not technically a 1 in 14. It's now like a pseudo 1 in 14 thanks to the rune changes, but I'm calling it a 1 in 14 anyways. If we are on a Midas watch, surprisingly only one Midas in this game, that being Festival. I know, having talked with a number of players, they are of the opinion it will be Midas season in Lads. But there have not been that many today so far. Bot lane, they're looking for Hyper. The smoke is on the mark, but it's still not enough. Naga Siren's just too fast. Just a little bit too slippery, and she gets away there from that 3-man Radiant side smoke gank, so... Again, right idea, wrong execution, and again, when the macro play looks like this, when one team keeps smoking up and not connecting, and the other team uses that time to split farm, the winner is obvious. It is the team that is split farming. Again, look at the map right now. There is this more map being farmed by Happy Birthday Hatsune Miku. Which again, if you are a Dire side fan, that would be considered a good thing. Of course, there is still plenty of Dota 2 to be played. One objective we have not seen since game number 1 is our good friend, Roshan. He's over here, of course. But again, both teams have it on the mind, it appears, but for now, we have not gone in yet. Dire, given they have the Weaver with the Swarm, of course, can look to grab a cheeky Roshan relatively soon, but naturally, yeah, we smoke meth, so will not be so willing to nonchalantly give up Roshan. And again, for the next 5 minutes, for this daytime Roshan, he will be bottom lane, which does mean, again, it's an easy spot for Radiance to TP2, get to the Roshan pit, fight it here. Perhaps with that knowledge in mind, Dire may look to, again, they're putting up good wards for that exact purpose. They have a ward here, we've got a ward here. Problem is, the Radiant side are smoked on up, looking for kills, looking at the Radiant vision. We do not see Dire heroes in it, which makes sense that they're kind of off the map right now, but... Again, that means one more missed smoke. I'm not even sure if they have any more smokes left. Yeah, I'm seeing no smokes on the person as far as this yeah, we smoke meth so side goes. Which again is not good considering they keep trying to smoke. Top lane, they've perhaps finally found somebody. They've run into Crony. Chaos Bolt hits. Cold Snap on top. Crony will end up going down. It's a big kill to get. In come the TPs. I believe at least one TP was cancelled, so this will not be a wholehearted defense. The T2 tower will get glyphed. But I do believe the tower is not long for life. Here is the scoreboard. People were specifically my good friend and former teammate Colonel Squid was mentioning he doesn't know some of the players in the game. Well, here are the players in the game. I'm surprised you don't know more than 2 of them. You should know at least 4. At least 3. I mean, come on now. If you watched the finals last season, you should at least know 2 very well, but I digress. Bot lane, there's TP in by Jahan. Jinx will sniff it out and Shikuchi away. The scan as well, it's right over here, so Gives him a pretty good idea what's going on. Weaver is Shikuching around. Atos is there on Storm Soul Dots. Fissure into Swarm is there, but Invoker's still fine. EMP's on the floor. And nobody dies. Again, whose world is it? It's Naga's world right now. It's a very easy game to free farm Naga. Now Hyper is 3,500 gold ahead of Chaos Knights. Again, bit of a reverse role. It was game 1 where NPL was incredibly farmed. This game, again, Hyper is the one who is incredibly farmed. There are a lot of heroes in the bottom lane. Well, whether or not there will be action is to be determined. Atos on Invoker. Invoker. Yeah, he's dead. He's incredibly dead. Orchid, blink in by the Shaker. And as a result, the T2 tower will get brought down bottom lane. First dead tier 2 tower of the game. Again, this potentially could mean that that happy birthday Hatsune Miku go for this daytime Roshan, but as mentioned earlier, they could just wait for the nighttime Roshan at minute 25 and then go there instead. It's a pretty natural motion of just kind of sweep northwest right now, push in that top lane, look at this top T1 tower, and then at that point you'll be positioned for this Roshan. But for now, they're playing the Radiant Jungle, content to put Naga in a relatively forward position, to put the illusions out again from this position. Again, illusions here, illusions the tri-camp. Not too hard to throw the illusions bottom lane. It puts a lot of pressure on this YWSMS side, and that's the concern. Is you have to know what's coming. This Naga hero is a very deliberate timing-based hero, and farm like this, the timing will certainly be hits. So we will end up seeing a daytime Roshan. They did not want to wait for nighttime. There's still decent ward coverage here with this ward. The T2 tower is dead, so it's pretty hard for Radiance to get here. Again, potentially there could be a play towards the outpost. There actually is no hero scouting here, but of course they don't know that. A lot of Roshan in the mind, and Roshan will end up dying. Surprise, surprise. Aegis goes to Hyper on the Naga Siren. The lead remains a modest but significant 6,000 in favor of Happy Birthday Hatsune Miku. Yeah, we smoke meth, so have an obvious idea on the mind. It's probably get some dodge action for the next 5 minutes. The problem is that Dire do not need to really force that much action with this first Aegis. Again, if I'm playing this Dire side, what's on the mind is, again, keep pushing the waves in and keep playing the economic game. Look at this tier 2 tower mid lane. Look to perhaps play the tri-camp here on the Radiant side. Push in that tier 1 tower area. Push in the tier 2 tower. Perhaps even look to control this Tormentor area for when the Tormentor will respawn. I'm actually not entirely sure when it will respawn. Probably going to be a little bit too long though, given it was taken pretty recently. I just didn't see it happen, apparently. Free Shard went to Invoker, if you're wondering. Pickoff Squad is hunting. Festival, Jinx, and Kavo Sing String are all in the top lane, but they have not found a target. Looking at Radiant Vision, I think they have a little bit of an idea, though. It is not a ward here, as Jinx has pinged out. Enough's got the Aghanim Scepter running around. He's run into Hyper. Hyper's backed up by 2. Fissure on Visage. Visage is surprisingly tanky, but apparently not tanky enough, maybe. But he's still not even dead yet. He's running away. He's bought some time. Festival goes down. Hyper will look to fight some 1-for-1 trade so far. Chain Frost is bouncing around. Naga is here to fight, looking for Lefty. Jahan goes down. Lefty goes down. NPL is in with his illusions, but he's losing the illusion versus illusion fight. Jinx will get some of the Chaos Bolt. He'll end up going down to NPL, but Hyper's still here to fight. He's out of mana, but he's got 2 lives ready to go. Weaver about to into the fight. Into the fight once again. NPL will go down, and now they'll head to Storm Soul out. The lone survivor on the Radiant side. Invoker is incredibly fucked. Atos into net, into way too much damage. Deadshot on top of the corpse. That's a full 5-man wipe in favor of Happy Birthday Hatsune Miku. In a matter of 1 minute, we've doubled our lead, and we still have the Aegis for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Mid-tier 2 tower, it's dead, if you're wondering, but again, we're out at high grounds. I declared that Dire didn't need to go high ground, but I suppose if there aren't any high ground defenders, then why not go for it? Net is there on Visage. Hyper will get stunned by the Visage familiars. Jinx, Shikuchi's forward, and they'll bring down enough. And Jinx does need to be a little bit careful. He's got no buyback, but well, ooh, good mirror image. As a result, that will not lash. The T3 tower is low, though it is not. Maybe it is dead, actually. Okay, it's not dead. 27 HP. That'll be dead soon, surely. Maybe it'll get denied. And it will get denied by Jahan's Lich. Meanwhile, CK finds a solo kill on Crony. It's technically not a solo kill thanks to the Visage Familiars, but that is a big opportunity to find, for sure. So with that in mind, Aegis expires in a minute. We likely are not going to see that one used in a fight anytime in the next minute, so that will expire. Again, I would consider that a pretty successful first Roshan and post-Roshan happenings for the side of Happy Birthday Hatsune and Miku. Again, getting that tier 3 tower broken is pretty good. And again, we're not too far from that next Roshan, of course. I guess it could be 6.5 minutes if Dota wants to torture me a little bit, but we shall see. Top lane, we're seeing pings. Muerta is on the run. Visage, of enough, is hunting. He's patient. He's scouting. Sunstrike will miss entirely, but Muerta's life will still be lost. Meanwhile, Muerta's teammates are nowhere near the Muerta. They are all bottom lane. NPL walked in with a Silver Edge. Saw the Naga Siren, or perhaps thought it was an illusion. Either way, he was not interested in going in. Naga, meanwhile, again, surprise, surprise, putting out the Illus, putting a couple of them mid lane, looking for the range racks. Range racks are very low. Again, Radiant are trying to keep him alive, but the inevitable will arrive quite soon. They've arrived now. Range racks mid are dead. T3 bottom is quite injured as well, with the back door. It temporarily returned. It's now, well, gone again. Glyph has been used. Gaze was used on Naga as well. Naga's now on the run, relatively low on mana. Mirror image has been used, and Naga now runs away. Again, Fissure hits on too. Festival, he's being patient, looking for the right opportunity, knowing that, hey, he doesn't need to force things too heavily. There's one more wave on the way. CK cut the next wave. So as long as Radiant can remove this wave, things are good. Problem is the wave has a siege unit. It's not too easy to kill right now. Illusions are on the way. Naga still has some man to work with. Range racks are under attack. Shackle latches on the real Naga. Range racks are half HP. Hyper walks in. He's hitting. Festival still in the back lines. Blink will be on cooldown for 8 seconds. Not that Radiant know that. And it's now range racks dead in 2 lanes. Again, Hyper is running in, he's netting, he's silencing with the Orchid, but he's not overly committing. He's content to slow siege the buildings, though, at this point, he's out of mana. Perhaps now is the time for the siege to die. There literally are no arcane boots on the Dire side, so Hyper has to leave. The siege is dead, but again, Considering there was no Aegis, getting a range rack in a tower is not bad. Actually, correction, 2 range racks in 1 tier 3 tower is not bad at all.
Are under attack.
So, we now have burned 3 minutes since the Aegis went down, which means we are approaching the time where the spawn window will be known. Again, if you are, yeah, we smoke meth, so you need to find some kind of opportunity to break this game state. This game state is disastrous. You are bleeding. You are bleeding everywhere. You need to stop the bleeding and ideally inflict some bleeding on the dire side. But the concern is taking a bad fight as well. That's the hard part of playing Dota when you're behind. You don't want to just kind of sit there and lose, but if you fight and you die, it's also not good. But honestly, I definitely prefer the idea of fighting and dying, because if you fight and you die, you are losing on your terms and not on the enemy's terms. Again, that's kind of like a useless platitude, but I think it's a lot easier to lose on your terms than on the enemy terms. If you gotta sit there and die, it's not fun. I've got Simon in my chat. Hi, Simon. Net top lane on CK. Oh, God. CK is getting demolished. He's just dead. Oh, no. Meanwhile, Festival has been found. Maybe they'll kill him. He's gazed in by Jahan, but he's still... Okay, he's dead on Shaker, but it's 2-for-1 so far. Though, the Invoker. Invoker is certainly going to die. It'll be a 3-for-1. Meanwhile, Enough is attempting to stand his ground and fight. He knows he can't run at this point. He's dead as well. It's a 4-for-1. And again, they took the fights. It did not go well. And now the base will die. Melee racks mid are dead. Hyper is headed towards the throne. So again, the safer, more conservative option of taking Negas will not be taken. It'll be thrown, and if nothing else, force out buybacks. Visage buys back. Lich still has his. But Invoker and CK do not. Both tier 4s are dead. Net is there onto Lefty. Hyper pops the Illus. Lefty's forced to BKB and walk away. And Throne is under attack. Lich actually didn't put the armor on the Ancient, so the Ancient's taking a pretty significant amount of damage right now. It's about 2/3 HP as it currently stands. Jinx runs away. Hyper runs away. Again, MPL has returned to the fray, looking for a jump on Weaver. Weaver has the Sentry Ward on the ground. He saw this coming, but well, he's just dead anyways. Apparently, down goes the Weaver of Jinx. So that does mean no Weaver for 95 more seconds. Roshan will be alive in about 15 more seconds, which again, of course, Hyper has that on his mind. Grab that second Roshan of the game. He's got the Aghanim Scepter on Nagasiren, which of course the big thing you're looking there is the upgrade on Ensnare. Reelin, it's pretty cool too, I guess, but the Ensnare upgrade in this game is probably the thing he's looking at. And yeah, at this point... Oh no, the Illu just... The Illu... Yeah, the illusion from a Hyper just killed Jahan. Jahan was softened up by the Tormentor, but yeah. Back to Roshan pit. Roshan, he's here, he's dead. Aegis goes to Hyper. Cheese goes to Shaker, a Festival. The play is obvious, and the play is correct. It is run it down the top lane. Ideally, you wait for Weaver, but if you don't, you don't. Again, if I'm playing Dire side, I post up over here in this high ground. Illu's here top lane, Illu's here mid lane. You choke out this map. You let Jinx respawn. Again, potentially, you can let Jinx TP to the bottom lane, have him push in the wave on the Weaver as the remainder of your team plays here as 4. And if for whatever reason they actually jump the Weaver, you then go in for perhaps even the Throne. Regardless, Hyper is not waiting. He's going in, he's popped the Eels in the Bloodthorn on CK. Meanwhile, Lich, and enough, trying to go for a kill on Crony. Crony is low, as is Festival. Both of them might just go down here. Crony is trying to duke things out, but both cores are dead. So Hyper is now playing a 3v5, enough still fighting. Muerta has popped the ulti, but again, this is just fine. He was 4-stabbed away. Hyper is still very strong, but he lacks a teammate. MPL goes in and demolishes Muerta. Now it's a 2v5. A beautifully executed fight so far from YWSMS. Storm Soldat is dead at the hands of Jinx. Invoker buys back, but again, great success. How can you say, hey, that's a big win there? Again, great angle on that fight. You find the Shaker, you find the Dawnbreaker, you kill both of them, and that's just fantastic. Again, the game continues. I've got Guam in my chat saying, wait a minute. I'm going to ask him, what are we waiting a minute for, Mr. Guam? We'll see how he responds to that one in 2 minutes. Regardless. Again, big win for the Radiant side. Look at this graph. It's improving. The lines are going up. Though even the lines go up, we have a scoreboard here that indicates things are pretty good for the side of Happy Birthday Hatsune and Miku. Crony will buy a gem just to help prevent the exact sort of play that just occurred. That sort of wraparound gank invis up, perhaps a ward in the back lines over here to scout things out. If you have a gem, that play simply does not happen, so Crony says, you know what, I'll buy a gem. Oh. Guami 2K at it again. Regardless, I mean, this is some Naga gameplay. Illus go in here, Illus go in there, it's pretty good. Hypothetically, if the game goes long enough, Radiant can... Wait a minute, Jinx has been stunned multiple times. He's been silenced. He might get brought down here. In comes Crony, looking back at his teammate, but his teammate's dead. He's BKB'd on Domber. He's taking so much damage. Now Echo Slam is there on 2. But Crony's already down. It's 2 dead. They found Festival. They found Hyper. Hyper will attempt the man fight. He's got 2 lives, but again, his team is dead. 3 down. Naga loses 1 life. And again, can she get the song off? That's the question today. Illus. But no, song's on cooldown. There will be no song at all. They're just trying to turn the fight right now. The Lucians are hitting. They bump into the CK, but look at Hyper. He's so low right now, but he does do tanky. Tornado hits Muerta. But they couldn't finish Hyper off, and now he'll regen with that heart. Again, so close, but so far. They killed 4 if you count the Aegis, but removing Naga from this world twice is hard. Again, look at the damage breakdown. Never mind, it's the wrong damage breakdown. Is the right one? There it is. Again, that's a lot of damage from Naga, a lot of damage from Muerta. Enough to just keep things alive. Again, Radiant, they blew their load, and the load was good, it was strong, but there was not enough of it. Now again, Hyper is back in the Radiant base. He still wants Megas. And again, he had the opportunity to grab Megas earlier. He went for the throne instead. That said, it's exposed racks in 2 lanes. Hyper is walking on around downtown. He's shackled. Focus fire hits. We still have HP. No song. Buying time for Crony to get to the base, though. But was not stacked properly to allow for a stun on Solar Guard. Not that it really matters all that much. Tornado hits Kavo's Sync String. Racks are low. Are they? They're under attack, let's say that much. Fissure into Blink in by Festival. Storm Soldat's in danger. He'll 4-staff away. He's 4-staffed by his teammates. And he's still alive. However, the Racks are not so lucky. And now Hyper goes for Throne. Lich has the armor on the throne. Megas are grabbed by the Dire side. Jinx is under attack. But he all time lapse on all that damage. Hyper's hitting the throne. He's focusing. He wants to end tonight's matches. He wants the 1-1. And he'll sure as hell get it, barring a miracle. Chain Frost is bouncing. The throne's just so low. 100 HP, 80 HP, and that's a dead throne. And our first series of the season of Season 14 is a 1-1 draw between Happy Birthday Hatsune Miku and Yeah, We Smoke Meth, so. Again, exciting series. A lot of newcomers to Lads in this season. Welcome to Lads if you're watching the cast back. Hopefully you had a fun time opening up our season number 14. Of course, tomorrow is gonna be the fun night. There is going to be multiple series tomorrow nights. And it should be a fun time. There actually are no casters, so if you, correction, there's a caster from one of the series, but if you want to cast some Lands action, we have